Good morning and welcome to this session of training for FSMail. This session is specifically designed for those people who do not require specific classroom training to feel comfortable migrating to FSMail. This particular topic is going to be on initializing FSMail. That is the first time you log on. Now, to begin with, the first thing you need to do is actually select a browser to use when you're dealing with FSMail. If you have a personal Gmail account as well as an FSMail account, one of the things we recommend is that you use two different browsers for those two accounts. Perhaps you use IE for one of them and Chrome for the other, or Firefox and Chrome, or some combination of those browsers. Our recommendation for FSMail is Chrome. Chrome is written by Google, and we believe probably works a little better with FSMail. If you have not installed Chrome, please see another training video or instructions on how to load Chrome and put it on your machine. I have Chrome launched here. I haven't done anything else but launch a new session of it, and this is the place where we're going to start. The first thing you need to do in this initialization process is to change your password. To change your password, you go to mybu.bradley.edu. This brings up the centralized sign-on service where you enter your BU Net ID. I'm actually going to use mine and your password. And log in. On the My Info tab, you'll see a password change option. You can either click right on the tab and then go to password change, or you can go directly to it through the drop-down menu. In the password change, in case you haven't done it for a while, you begin by entering your current password and then your new password, and click to change your password. It will come back with your password has been changed successfully, and that's actually all that needs to be done in this session. I'm going to take you completely out of this. There's something in particular I want to show you. When you click on that sign off, you notice sign off becomes a two-stage process. Now, if you're working on a personal machine and not a public machine, then this is less important. But whenever you're on any kind of a public machine someplace, make sure that you do this second level of sign out. That second level actually signs you off of the centralized sign-on service, and it prevents somebody who sits down behind you from picking up one of your sessions and having full access to all of your materials. Once this is done, we're ready to go to FSMail. This will be our first logon. Well, okay, it won't really be my first logon. I've been on a few times before, but I'll try to point out the differences to you. You first go to fsmail.bradley.edu, and you could make this your home page in Chrome or Firefox or whatever browser you're using. That will nearly always take you to the centralized sign-on service. The only times when that does not happen is if you're already logged in to the centralized sign-on service and that that login has not expired from a time standpoint. Now at this point, you're going to enter your BU Net ID and then your password. and that's going to log you on. In your first logon, this page will pop up. Now, you'll notice I actually switched out to a picture of what happens rather than what happens because I've logged on before. So this is what you're going to see, and this is the thing that allows you to accept the terms of service. They're pretty straightforward. You can actually go read the specifics of it. There are links here to the Help Center, to the course suite, Google services, terms of service here, privacy policy here, service-specific terms here, and so on. All of those things are available to you, and in fact, at helpdesk.bradley.edu/FSMail, that's helpdesk.bradley.edu/FSMail, there's also a copy of our contract with Google, so you can see the specifics of what we have approved. Okay, once you're satisfied with this, go ahead and click on Accept, and that will take you into your account for the first time. Your account won't actually look like this now that I stop to think about it. It's going to look a little bit more like this the first time you log on, and there will be 4 emails, or at least 4 emails in that link for you. One of them will be specifically from me. It has more to do with how to migrate your existing mail. Since you are not going through the training process, and we are actually migrating your mail from Exchange to FSMail, you really don't need to do much on these things. There are a couple of things we'd like for you to do. Yours, like I said, will look different than this, different set of emails, but you can see over here on the left-hand side, your inbox here, sent mail, drafts, spam. The spam is an important one. As a part of this, in a little bit, we're going to go through and disable the Barracuda so that all of your mail comes to FSMail here, and your spam will be sorted into this folder right here that says spam. All of your mail will actually be one of 3 places. It will either be in spam, it will be in your trash, or it will be in a container, a container called All Mail. You'll be able to see this on yours on the very top of the first page. And right now I'm having trouble locating All Mail, but trust me, it is in fact here. There it is. All Mail right here. That will actually contain everything that is not in spam or in the trash. Now, with this in mind, you want to remember that the inbox up here is just a label now. It's not an actual container. So if you remove the inbox label, your mail is still in All Mail. You have an awful lot of space here. You probably don't have to worry about deleting anything other than the junk. If there's anything that you may want at some point in the future, may possibly want at some point in the future, my recommendation is that you save it, and you save that simply by not deleting it. It will not disappear. You can remove it from your inbox, and you can, we'll go back to the inbox now. I'll just show you very quickly. If you select one of these and you click on this archive button right here, that will remove the inbox label from the message. It will remain in All Mail. You will not lose it. It will still be there, and you will be able to search for it. There are a couple of settings that we want to do on this first round. You go over to this sprocket on the right-hand side and down to Settings. Select Forwarding and pop IMAP in the middle. You want to click to enable POP, and down here you want to click to enable IMAP. Those are the 2 changes that you need to make on this page, and then go down and save changes. Now that's actually all that really needs to be done in this first session. You can certainly stay here and process some email and read things. Your mail will be transferred at sometime during the 7 days following your migration period. During that time, and for some time in the future actually, you would continue to have access to Exchange through P.O. Box. You can go to pobox.bradley.edu, log on to your Exchange account, and process any mail that is there. This is a transition period. Okay, so whatever you need to do is simply fine. There is one other thing I would like to show you how to do, and that is to disable Barracuda. One of the things you really don't want is spam to end up in the Barracuda and in your spam folder in multiple places. We'd like to cut that down on that and have all of your mails show up only in FSMail. I'm going to go to a new tab here, and up at the top I'm going to type HTTPS, notice the S there, https://barracuda.bradley.edu. barracuda.bradley.edu. That's going to bring up a logon page. And here you start with your BUnet ID, but you have to put the @ sign in and BU mail. The Barracuda is actually linked to your BU mail account. So it's your BUnet ID at bumail.bradley.edu. And then for your password, whatever you changed your password to just a few minutes ago. Let's see what I change it to. I wonder if I remember. I'm not sure I typed that right. I think I'll just start over. I think I got it right that time. We'll log on here. In my case, you'll see there are no messages here. I've actually already moved mine. We're going to go up to Preferences so I can show you where the settings are. Under Preferences, you get this tab and you notice Quarantine Settings and Spam Settings. We're actually going to do both of those, but we'll start with the Quarantine Settings. You want to disable, so enable quarantine, you want to say no, and then Save Changes. And then go over to Spam Settings and do exactly the same thing. Set that to no and then Save Changes. And that was pretty quick. That's all there is to it. We can log off of that now, and we have now disabled the Barracuda. So no more of your mail will get stopped by the Barracuda. It will all show up in FSMail. It should filter nicely into your spam filters. Be sure to use, let me just go back here to the other tab. There are a couple of things that I want to show you. One of them is the help feature inside of FSMail. That's over here on this sprocket or gear over here. And all the way at the bottom is help, and that will open a tab to Gmail help. And the search characteristics here are very high. So if you have any kind of a question, for example, you want to know about iPhone configuration, you can enter that right there. And right here it comes up with iPhone, iPad, or iPad Touch, and we'll give you instructions on how to configure that. So the help function here is very, very good. I want to show you one other, and that is helpdesk.bradley.edu/FSMail. helpdesk.bradley.edu/FSMail. Okay, you remember I mentioned this site earlier. and told you one of the things that's available here is the Bradley Google Apps for Education contract. You can click on that and read it to your heart's content. That should help address any questions that you might have about security and things like that. The training presentation that we give to faculty and staff is available as a PDF document right here. Here's some instructions for completing your transition to FSMail. However, this primarily has to do with migrating files, which you are not doing. Whoops, didn't mean to go there. There are training videos. The video I'm making right now is on that list, or it will be by the time you get there. And then there's some frequently asked questions, and the frequently asked questions are very comprehensive. We've worked very hard at trying to document the answers to all of the questions that we've come up with in the process of migrating people. Here are the instructions on saving training. I'm assuming that most of you have already seen this and followed this link, the second link down here, to get to this training session. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again next time.